nobody expected this to happen from the war in the Middle East, but Diet Coke is actually disappearing from store shelves in India. Not because of sugar or water, but because of the aluminum cans. India has been reportedly experiencing these shortages of Diet Coke because the global aluminum supply crunch is happening tied to the Iran war and shipping disruptions in the famous, now infamous, Strait of Hormuz.
Right.
And since Diet Coke in India specifically is mainly sold in aluminum cans, the shortage has become visible very fast. I feel like a week or two ago, I saw Cosmo India posting about this. And many people are, might think of oil when you talk about a Middle East conflict, but the Gulf region actually produces a ton of the world's aluminum.
Yeah.
A ton, like just a lot of, not specifically only a ton. But once the shipping slowed and smelters shut down, aluminum prices have surged globally, and aluminum prices reportedly just hit a 4-year high this spring. So even though the conflict is thousands of miles away, it will impact soda cans, food packaging, electronics, fertilizer, anything that aluminum touches, including cars and consumer prices overall because of shipping. So far, the U.S. not important to note. The U.S. not seeing shortages yet.
Important
I know,
for Sam.
Important for me specifically. I'm literally drinking a Diet Coke right now. But Americans already pay some of the highest aluminum prices in the world, and tariff and import dependence have made the market more vulnerable to price spikes. So I know we're all paying attention to this now. Between the condoms and the Diet Coke, we talked about condoms last week. Like,
those
God forbid,
prices went up because of the war.
Yeah.
I do think it's crazy. Also, like, I will say Diet Coke in general has gotten so much more expensive. Remember, and I'm not a Diet Coke girl. But my mom is like, has it in her veins. Right. So I think because I grew up with her buying it. It used to be cheap. It was like $3 for a case or something. Now it's like $20 for a case. Like, what is that?
It is kind of wild. So this is probably my only consumer price index that I have been tracking dutifully for 20 years. And I will tell you that, first of all, if you're ever in the market for Diet Coke, buy it ahead of like a Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day. There's always a sale. You can get like 3 for $12 or something. It's wild. That said, the cost of Diet Coke has gone up. I think it's a few things. I think one, the global demand for soda overall has gone down slightly because of the proliferation of bubbled water and like how we're all trying to be healthy, yada, yada.
Right.
But I also think in general, like people are still drinking Diet Coke because we like we tell ourselves it's healthy. Or at least not as bad as a real soda.
Yeah.
But like, because there's this demand, they can increase the price. And like kind of, we talked about this recently, something called price inelasticity. So in your mind, you might think that Diet Coke should be $1 a can because that's what you paid when you were like 14 at like the concession stand at your high school. But actually, like obviously prices have gone up since then. So it's kind of a bummer. But yeah, inflation has increased so much in the last couple of years that when you go to the store, I think I paid $8 for a 12-pack of cans of Diet Coke this week. And I was like, that seems absurd because it used to be like $3 or $4. But you know what? It do be like that. And she died doing what she loved,
Yeah, it's one of those things that I guess you just have to count on your budget and say, no matter what the price is, I have to purchase it.
Yeah, my husband was like, can we like not do that? And I said no. Unfortunately, this is the only thing keeping me slightly tethered to reality. And
so it's important.
Yeah,
it's
we're going to have to pay for that.
Must-haves.
Yeah, exactly.